Welcome to the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. When can you listen to the Sister Speak Show? At 7 p.m. Central. Tune in on the go or at your residence show. Spreaker, YouTube, Alexa, or SoundCloud. Interviewing special guests that have been blessed and will bless us. Through spoken word and awareness, knowledge is wealth. If you gain it, share this. In the streets, in the burbs, anywhere that we can be heard. It's about that time to elevate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. It's about that time to stimulate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. Night live on Coming to the Stage on the Sister Speak Show. My special guest, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, Poeticlee. I am excited about this interview and you don't want to miss it as we talk about his entrepreneurship, the fact that he has his own podcast that is doing extremely well, and hopefully some new pieces from him. Oh, I'm excited. Tune in live on the Sister Speak Show, recorded live and on demand in Dallas, Texas, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Sister Speak Show. This is Ayana, your host, and you are listening to Coming to the Stage. That's right, my special guest this evening will be Poeticlee, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. My brothers and sisters, I'm very excited about that because this brother is absolutely dope. And if you remember listening to him last time, then oh my goodness, you know that we had a wonderful conversation and there is so much more to talk about. So welcome to all of my first-time listeners and welcome back to all of my regular listeners. You are definitely listening to the Sister Speak Show. And not only that, we are a 6-segment podcast. We have the platform Coming to the Stage, the search effort, we have the culture climate, the laugh line, and we have the tour, brothers and sisters. And we are so excited about how we have expanded. You can catch live interviews as well as live performances, in studio interviews, and live on location reports. The special guests who will be on the Sister Speak Show, my brothers and sisters, are dynamic and they are impacting the communities with their passions. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind and soul informed, energized, and encouraged. A cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening, nourishment, my brothers and sisters. We don't go dumb. For what? We go wisdom. That's right. So anyway, my brothers and sisters, I hope you are having a wonderful day. I thought about you. I said, you know what? Since we have Poeticlee coming to the stage, and this brother, like I said, he's dope. And, you know, I just had to set the stage. One of my, favorite songs to listen to when I am want to get into a mood of just like, change and impact and being bold and addressing issues. There is a go-to song that I always listen to. And, we all have songs that just really, put us in the mood. So I have one for you until my special guest calls in. We'll be right back after we listen to Self-Destruction, Stop the Violence Movement, brothers and sisters. Let's go.
Not only does America have a very serious problem, but our people have a very serious problem. America's problem is self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. 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 Well, today's topic, self-destruction, it really ain't the rap audience is bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers, trying to rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the mid. So to crush that stereotype, here's what we did. We got ourselves together so that you can unite and fight for what's right, not negative cause. The way we live is positive. We don't kill our relatives. Pop, 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 when it's shot, who's to blame? Headline, front page, and raps the name. MC Delight here to state the bottom line. The black on black crime was way before our time. Took a brother's life with a knife, that's his wife. cried cause he died of trifling death when he left his very last breath. Was I slept, so watch your step. Back in the 60s, our brothers and sisters were hanged. How could you gangbang? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man, cause that's self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Funky fresh dressed to impress, ready to party. Money in your pocket, dying to move your body. To get inside, you pay the whole $10. Scotch tape with a razor blade, taped to your collar. Leave the guns in the crack and the knobs alone. MC lights on the microphone, bum rushing and pushing, snatching and taxing. I crammed understand why brothers don't be maxing. There's only one disco, they'll close one more. You ain't guarding the door, so what you got a gun for? Do you rob the rich and give to the poor? Yo, daddy-o.
This straight from the mouth of why and daddy-o. Do a crime, end up in jail and gotta go. Cause you could do crime and get paid today, and tomorrow you're behind bars in the worst way.
Far from your family,
Cause you're locked away.
now tell
Do
me.
you really think crime pays?
Scheming on taking what your brother had?
You little sucker.
You talking all that jazz.
It's time to stand together in a unity. Cause if not, then we're soon to be self-destroyed, unemployed. D-records will be lost without a trace or a clue. But what to do is stop the violence and kick the science down the road that we call eternity, where knowledge is formed and you learn to be self-sufficient, independent. To teach to each is what rap intended, but society wants to invade. So do not walk this path that they laid. It's self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Be nice. Break it down like this.
Children growing, women producing, men go working, some go stealing.
Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction.
I'm Miss Melody and I'm a born again rebel. The bomb says that must cease and set. If we want to develop and grow to another level, we can't be guinea pigs for the devil. The enemy knows they're no fools because everyone knows the hip hop rules. So we gotta get it and grab what's real. The opposition is weak and rap is strong.
This is all about, no doubt, to stop violence. But first, let's have a moment of silence. Swing. This has been stated, re-educated, evaluated. Thoughts of the past have faded. The only thing left is the memories of our belated. And I hate it when someone dies to get all hurt up for a silly gold chain by a chump. Word up. It doesn't make you a big man. And you want to go and dish your brother, man. And you don't know that's part of the plan. Why? Because rap music is in full demand. Understand?
Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. My name is Just Ice, a man, not a prankster. I was known as the gangster, but believe me, that is no fun. The time is now to unite everyone. You don't have to be soft to be for peace. Robbing and killing and murdering is the least. You don't have to be chained by the beast. But party people, it's time I release. Hey yo, here's the situation. Idiocy, nonsense, violence, not a good policy. Therefore, we must ignore fighting, fussing. Heaven's at the door, so there'll be no bum rushing. Let's get together because we're falling apart. I heard a brother shot another, it broke my heart. I don't understand the difficulty, people. Love your brother, treat him as an equal. They call us animal, I don't agree with them. I'll prove it wrong. The right is what you're proving them. Take heed before I leave to what I'm saying, or we'll all be on our knees. Pray.
Heavy deep in the heart of the matter. The self-destruction is served on a platter, making a day, not failing to anticipate. They got greedy, so they fell for the bait. That makes them a victim, pick them, pluck. New jack in jail, but to the vets they're a duck. There's no one wrong, cause in jail you're a number. They never took the time to wonder about
Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction.
Yes, we urge to merge. We live for the love of our people, the hope they get along. Getting a point to our brothers and sisters who don't know the time.
So we gonna ride.
Stand in your heads, you know our job to build and collect ourselves with intellect. To evolve the self-respect. Cause we got to keep ourselves in check, or else it's
Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it was self-destruction.
Brothers and sisters, you are listening live to Coming to the Stage. This is your host, Ayana. Yes, everything is going down today. And guess what? Calling in live is my special guest. Brothers and sisters, calling in live all the way to coming to the stage on the Sister Speak Show is my special guest that I told you will be calling in. Brothers and sisters, give it up for Poeticlee. Of course. I'm so excited to have you on once again. So, we just had to show you some love. And thank you for saying yes. So, how was your day going, first of all?
Oh, the day's been moving. The week is back in action from the holiday. Now, I don't like to call it a day off. It's obviously a day on of service, but still a day away from work. So today's back in action, and it's been moving. And you're in Texas, so I don't know how the weather is, but North Carolina is like birds. Like you walk outside, bricks are being thrown at your face. So it's a little cold here, and they're talking about snow tonight. So I'm not really with the snow. I'm not a snow type of person, but I guess I can't do anything about it, huh?
No, there's nothing you can do. Just, light up that fireplace and look, light up the fireplace. Make sure you get everything that you need, because once the snow comes in, that's it. And it's freezing out here. They said it's supposed to get 6 degrees tonight. 6, not even 7, just 6.
We don't. Once it gets below 15 degrees, 12 degrees,
right?
It's don't even tell me the weather. Like just don't tell me the weather. And, this is cool. I have to say I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but you're so diverse in your conversation, so nimble in how you move throughout conversation and topics that it doesn't even matter to me. I was like, yeah, so let's do it. And my dad loved the last episode, the last time we talked, definitely, because he thought the conversation was interesting. It was just open and as far as it going from different topics. He liked it. He loved it.
Oh, I appreciate that. And hello to your parents. I appreciate the love. And yes, you never know where this conversation is going to go, but we're always going to have a wonderful time speaking with each other, because that's just what it is. It could go left, it could go up, down. You just never know what kind of shot I'm going to shoot tonight.
Shoot 'em.
Okay, I'm ready. So, I do thank you for asking me about how it's going, out here today. As a matter of fact, I was on my way to Walmart and to pick up a couple of things and almost kissed the concrete. Almost became Black Olympics immediately, straight to the ground, but because
Black Girl Magic.
I'm telling it. Look, I'm trying to be a public figure out here. I'm not trying to have people like, ooh, I think I've seen her on Instagram. She bit it. Yeah, never. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, but a meme will.
Right there.
Okay. But a meme will brighten up your day. So let's go ahead and get started. Look, the last time that you called in, it was like, okay, we were just, introduced to one another, but we had a good vibe. And, ever since then, you've been on a roll. Like, you have grown, and it hasn't even been a full year since the last time that you were on the show, and so much has happened with you. And first, I want to say congratulations, because I love to see all of my Sister Speak family out there doing it, moving and grooving, and just really just expanding their brand. So why don't you go ahead and tell the listening audience what has happened with you and your brand since the last time you came on the show?
Oh, wow. That's a layered question.
I love it.
Thanks. Hey, well, so obviously for you, but for like the listeners, we started a podcast show, like you have for yourself, but we wanted to take it where we took poetry and spoken word and the performing arts period together and kind of uplift it to make it a worldwide phenomenon. It's already a worldwide phenomenon, but give it a worldwide presence.
Yes.
It's poetry scene. It's one of those things that's always been around, but as far as the notice and the notoriety of it and just the exposure of it, it's been something that's lacked, and I see that in the market. And I'm just one of those I'm just at that type of energy where I don't want to see myself just out here eating, or I just don't want to see myself just being seen on Instagram or just being seen in the digital world. We all should be seen in the digital world. So why isn't poetry why isn't that market being poked as far as in the digital world? You see how comedy is just, the comedians, it's amazing. I'm watching how they move on Instagram, how they move on Facebook, and how they create content. It's a content-based heavy. And thing in poetry, either poets can be very self-centered or very humble.
Yes.
Too humble. The balance in between both and really wanting to knowing how to work your content and really get to build an audience sometimes is lost. Mm-hmm. So we created a podcast called Poetically Correct. So when I say we, it's Rome DiCarlo. You had him on the show, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And another poet, she's a future legend. Oh wow, I have to introduce you to her. But Mariah Barber, she's amazing. Her work. She has a book that just actually came out last year.
Wow.
And she just got onto the show. She was on our second episode, but she just got onto the show as far as like being one of the hosts. Because I just wanted to have another voice, especially being a woman, woman of color. I think it's just important to have that voice, especially in the poetry scene, because we have a lot of stories to tell.
For sure.
So we create that show, and it's the visuals on YouTube, Poetically Correct. It's on Instagram, Poetically Correct, and it's on SoundCloud. All the same podcast directories and apps that you may find podcasts. And then doing that, and then also being a part of, you had LB, you start the LB, the poet, my guy from Winston-Salem with me, we just being in Word Society performing, and constantly just wanting to perform taking different venues on, and is creating some digital content. I'm always trying to post something on Instagram because that is the market. I don't mind if it's free content. I want it to be. To me, it's about the message and the energy and the love. So that's mainly what's been going on. Just creating more digital content.
I love the show, and I watch it. I love the episodes. I love the energy. I love the way. I love the beginning of it. I love just the entire production. And that's why I've told you're welcome. And that's why I've told my listening audience that, look, this is a podcast that I listen to. Check them out because it's absolutely dope. You're welcome. It's just because, you have a direction. Podcasts are being born every second, okay? You know it. They're on the loose, Lee. They're on the loose, Poetically. They're on the loose. They are
like the new mixtapes now.
I mean, seriously, like you can get a podcast at 7-Eleven. You can get a podcast at Valero. You can get a podcast wherever. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to, drain someone's energy or take the wind out of anybody's sail. Only the strong survive, number one. And, when it comes to this game, it's so popular, but only the content is going to last. Only the structure, only the consistency, only being able to have like subject matter that really matters, that's going to leave your listening audience or your viewing audience with just a breath of fresh air. Like, this was just exactly what I needed, because so many people are pulling away from TV and they are diving into, let me gain a listening palette. Let me get some flavors.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I just, sometimes I say, look, let me listen to these sisters podcast, or let me listen to this duo's podcast. I listen because I want to go in fair. But I don't want to hear about penis size every time or sex. I just don't like,
It gets a little mundane and old.
It does. It's a time and a place, and it doesn't mean that we can't talk about it. But there just has to be more than just your average conversation on the phone being recorded. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely 1,000%. And see, in that right there, what you said right there, more than just average conversation. I think people urge for that. Like, people yearn for that more than just average conversation, because anybody can have just an average conversation. But I think with substance, and I was just saying this last night, I love the fact that now we have a mission with the show. It started off with the mission, but now it's a more directed. It's like you want to work out, right? So you're hitting the gym, you're working out. So we've been working out. But now we're actually doing things to tone the body. Now we're toning the show as far as we have a segment called The Legal Easel, where we're breaking down, understanding some legal things about us being an artist, because art, we just love to create. Sometimes we don't understand the business of what we're doing.
Right.
The same thing is, we have a section called Writer's Block.
Love it.
Where artists sometimes,
I love it.
creative we can be, we may get stuck in something. So how do we come out of our own risk, and how do we learn how to structure something? How to structure a very well written metaphor or a double entendre where it thinks, it makes you think. So it's conversation. Not your average conversation. I want to steal that from you.
Go ahead.
I love that as a tagline. Not your average conversation.
Not your average, right? And so that's what sets us apart. And then, then you start breaking it down to where it's like, okay, I know that on this day, okay, I'm listening to this today. So I know when I come to Poetically Correct, I'm listening to something that's going to help me with becoming a better writer. Okay, so on this day, I can listen to it and I'm getting this type of knowledge. See, now class is in session. That's why I always ring the bell at the beginning of my shows. Class is always in session, period, point blank. And so, if you're going to listen, my whole thing is have something to say, because people are listening. And, if you're going to videotape, have something to view. And that's why, like I said, I like what you're doing. And I just, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I love the direction. I love listening to the, spoken word artist, poet, poetess. I want to cover all grounds. I don't want anybody to be artistically offended in their title. It's tricky,
You talk about myself, but you're growing too. We were talking as far as how bold you are in getting these guests and whatnot, and how you really go ahead to pull great content. I'm for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll pop up in the DMs. It's, you gotta do what you have to do. And, one thing I've never been is, I haven't been shy. I can be reserved.
I can't see that out of you.
But you know what though? There are times where I am completely quiet, because I like to observe where I am, especially if I'm entering into a new scene, like, a crowd. I don't do crowds. I know it's kind of tricky. I can speak in front of a crowd, but as far as being in the mix of one, it has to be a particular situation that I'm involved in, because I'm just always aware of my surroundings. And so I will kind of go into a shell at first, just to see how, if I can let all of who I am out. You know what I mean?
You seem protective of your energy, but at the same time, you seem like you know the direction you want to go in.
Yes.
So that which is protective of your energy.
Yes.
You know what you want and what you know what to do for it.
Yes, and that's what it's about. So if I can just, and that's why it's so good that we're like independent, right? Because, who, when you have so much greatness inside of you, and I'm speaking to all of my brothers and sisters, when you are planted with so much greatness, you have to protect it. You have to really fortify it. You have to Fort Knox it. You have to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to really.
You said when you come with that greatness, that's what I'm talking about right there. Talk that talk.
That's what it's about, right? So then that way, so everything on the inside of you is so valuable that you have to be able to know how to, let it out, and at the same time not let anybody in and try to take it, and then it just becomes mundane. It just becomes mediocre. It's just your average thing, and so that's why our voice is so powerful, and some people will pay to silence it. You'll think you're getting a golden opportunity. You'll think that, this is a big move for me and this, that, and the third, but really you're being plucked out of your platform, and now they are controlling, because there's so much power in your voice as an independent speaker, if you will, that, you just really got to protect it, because no amount of money is going to pimp me up off of where I'm sitting. You know what I'm saying?
So all you corporations, you production companies, don't try to come after good thing.
Yes.
Don't try to. You're not just doing anything for the pennies out here.
I'm not.
So don't even try it.
That's right.
I got you. Not taking any wooden nickels, as my grandmother would say.
No, not at all. Only because I can't sell my people out. I can't. I love what I do, and so when you love what you do, people can't really pimp you. They can't make you leave your passion, abort your mission, abort your assignments. They just can't do it. But so many people be like, ooh, somebody's willing to, pay me $100,000 to take this show and do X, Y, and Z with it. And now, I may have to, put on some minstrel clothes.
We're not doing that.
You know, we can't do the minstrel shows. You know, there's enough of them out there, though. You know, there are, but I don't want to be a part of that. You know, that's why I said I'm climbing the stairs. That's why, like I said, I like what you guys are doing. So what I wanted to ask you was, how do you secure your guests? Like, you know, what is it? How do you just, you know, get them to come on the show?
You know, okay, so let me say this. First off, as somebody that secures my energy, I'm protective over my energy too. Let me tell you right now, I like people. I vibe with people. Like, I vibe with you. We can talk.
Yes.
I really don't even like, because I have a lot of things to say. Rome has a lot of things to say. We have conversations. We have dynamic conversations between ourselves. Mm-hmm. You have to really be dynamic as a guest. We just don't pull artists, say, okay, I want to interview you. I want to interview you. And we were talking about this with, as far as understanding the poets that we want to pull. Mm-hmm. And it has to be, you have to really bring some uniqueness. You have to really bring some substance, right?
Yeah.
So the people that I pull, it's because I see something, Rome sees something, now Mariah sees something, that they can take the conversation to a totally 180. Mm-hmm. We don't even, you know, you have to be able to take it either right away from us, or where we normally would go, or it's not going to work. So,
right.
We had B Rocker, a dynamic poet. We had Kia Flo. She's a very, man, how can I put it? I wish she had more of her work out. I told her this. Kia knows this. I wish she had more of her work online. I think she does a little bit, but she's the type of poet where it's like a roller coaster, and a lot of artists is like a roller coaster, but she would have you sunk into one place thinking where it's sweet and beautiful, everything, the sun is out, and then whoosh, I mean, the thunder just came. I was like, what just happened? No, go back, and that I love right there. And B-Rock is he's just so, he's like my soul, he's just my soul brother. He brings the peace, he brings my aura and my peace, right? And he brings a perspective that I think we need to hear from more men of color.
Yes.
Then when we were having him on our show, he's talking about, hey, it's not about, I'm at this point where it's not about the sex. You know, it's not always about the sex. It's about trying to have a spiritual connection.
Yes.
And while that may be cliche to say, but I think even just hearing that little bit right there, hearing a man of color say that, a young man of color in his 26 years old say that makes it a point. It makes people feel like, it makes a lot of other brothers feel like, okay, phew, I don't have this pressure to just go out here and just get hoes or whatnot, or, you know, just to do women dirty. It makes a lot of young women feel like, phew, I don't have to just act a certain way, because I see other men really are cool with just chilling and vibing and connecting.
Oh, right.
Taking it further and just, you know, getting in the bed and whatnot. So it's the conversation like that, things of not just the substance, but things that are like nutritious to the body.
Yes,
Conversation.
I love that.
I don't know, did I answer your question right?
Yes, you answered. I asked you, how do you pull your guests and how do you get them on the show? So yes, you answered my question right.
Because I'll be honest with you, I don't like not to say I don't like people, but I like people, but I just man.
You like your space. You do, but you also like your space.
I love my space.
You love your space. I can just get that vibe. I love my space too, you know. And I was just saying today, you know, I am accepting the fact that I might be borderline funny style. You know, funny acting. And I say this because I think so. I think so because I am the type where, you know, sometimes if I don't feel like talking, I just don't feel like talking. If I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to be bothered. And so where
is that being funny though?
I don't know, because some people may be used to me, because if you've encountered me, because I'm usually jovial, you know, I'm no sucker, but I'm jovial. So if you encounter me and we vibe and I'm like, hey, how you doing, this, that, and the third, and then you see me the next day and I'm like, what's up, and I don't say anything else to you, you could get, your feelings might be hurt. But it's not anything about you. It's just that today I'm in my own world and I'm in my mind and I just don't feel like talking. So I was just thinking, like, and some people may say, oh, you're acting funny. And I accept that. Thank you. At least you're recognizing and I'm keeping it real. I just know it about myself. I can sometimes be funny acting. And that's
No, I don't think that. I think that's just. But as long as you acknowledge, are you an Aquarius?
no, I'm Virgo.
A Virgo? Oh, okay. Oh, that ain't. Oh, Virgo. I've dated some Virgos, man. But anyway.
You survived.
I don't think that's being funny. As long as you like acknowledge them, you're respectful. I don't think it's being
right.
If you see, so like you see me, you see Lee, and we're kicking off with laughing one day. Then you see me, and that's on a Monday. Then on Tuesday, I walk past. I'm like, hey, what's up, Liana? And then you just, oh hey, and then you just keep walking. Is that what you do? Yeah, you may be funny.
Oh wait! Oh,
you extra funny.
oh no! I see.
You double sauce. Double dip.
I'm working on it. No, I wouldn't. I would show nothing but love because y'all my Sister Speak family. But I'm just saying, just in general, in just my everyday.
It up now.
Yeah, I gotta fix this one up. That was called extra. That was called extra.
I called it
You
right.
did.
All right, Sister Speak, y'all see it.
Like, okay, I'm going to an event this Friday, right? This is my first. Honestly, this is my first event with my brand on the outside on a whole nother level. I'm attending an event on this Friday, and then I'm also attending another event the next Friday. I think it's Friday or Saturday on the 27th as a guest, I guess a special guest, and I'm going live there. And this is, me taking the brand on a live location. So, meeting people and everything. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I like to smile when I need to, but sometimes, when.
Go ahead, keep breaking my heart. Like that's what you got. That's why I realized this episode. Like I'm really realizing Ayana's out here. She's just, oh man, go ahead.
I am.
Funny. How you about to be funny?
Okay, I'm just saying that when you go into an environment where you have to smile a lot and you have to, be on your best behavior and things like that. I just know that requires a lot. So for me, this is something that's going to be really, really new for me to be able to come into an environment and respect other creatives and blend because, sometimes I like.
I get you. I see what you're saying.
Sometimes I like to work by Sometimes I like to work by myself, and not saying I don't mind going to these events and everything, but like, I don't know. Do you find yourself being able to get some things done just on your own?
1,000%. Yes. 1,000%.
Okay.
But I think synergy is important.
It is.
On how what the task calls and how you can, hand out the different tasks and still be successful. But I understand what you mean as far as getting things accomplished on your own. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I get what you're saying. That's how a lot of industry things are. I say industry, but even like corporate environments are.
Yes.
We have to smile. I don't like that. For art, but on the art side, you go to these different industry like awards. I can't stand award shows. I'm good. I'm good. I don't have to win an award. I don't like going to these shows because a lot of people with the fake. Oh, we're going to link up. We're going to connect.
Right.
Oh, we're going to do this. We should do a lot of this. Let me give you my number. No, I don't want your number. I don't even how are we even talking? It has to be a connection. Like I like.
Right.
This. So I understand what you're saying.
Right. But, and also with you being a man, I think being a man, it's easier to move and groove, but because,
I see what you're saying.
But for a woman, when you're coming into an environment with other women, me being a sister, I'm just hoping that the vibe will be that we can all be in the same room and respect each other and not, not whisper or have these thoughts. I'm just looking for a real sister connection because I am on a positive vibe. But I also know that because I have a straight face, like, some people, like I was talking about my show on the other day, like some people be like, smile. And I am happy on the inside. It's called an affected blend. My face displays something that my insides don't. So I may have a grimace on my face, but on the inside, everything is great.
That is funny right there. I get what you're saying, because for a woman it is kind of tough, because that's the first thing they like say, oh, you go smile some more, just smile.
Yeah.
But I think just
The streets is
about
tough.
energy too. Like, I don't know, it's like, all right.
A smile is
Because
energy.
But dudes do a lot of corny things. Like,
They
I'm
do.
We're not gonna get to that, but
No, yes we are. Yes we are. Yes we are. What do you mean?
it's a lot of cornball things going on.
It is, and we will definitely get into that, But one thing I wanted to say, today I was scrolling through Instagram and I was looking at, I ran across one of your posts and from when you were speaking before the youth. And, I'm big on that, and I know you're big on that as well. So I want you to share with the audience that experience and what wisdom you passed on to them.
Oh, wow. So I volunteer as a mentor with this organization here in Charlotte, North Carolina called Right Moves for Youth. And it's really dear to my heart because I love to work, as we just said. I think it's kind of cliche to say I love to work with youth, but I mainly love to work with high school students. So right now on Fridays, I mentor high school. It's a group of males at high school here, and they range. It's all grades from ninth to senior, so it's not just one group of grades.
Beautiful.
And the thing that really triggers me is because I see myself in there. I see myself in there. I'm still childish, so I can still kick it. I can still vibe with them, but at the same time, I can let them know, hey, I can give them some game on how to, you may, to not be in your feelings in a situation, but have some logic and think about it and with reason. Sometimes, and this is important, I tell all my friends, it's important to have like an OG in your life. Because, or just a mentor. We say OG, but just a mentor, someone that can guide you in different situations, because you may come off a little hot-headed, or you may come off very emotional about a situation, or you may come off very just nonchalant, when really your mentor can guide you and say, hey, yeah, you may not like, you may not like going to this event, like how we are about going to this event and smiling, but check this out. The event's 2 hours, the event's 3 hours. That's 3 hours of your day where you can make connections that can build you 3 hours. That 3 hours of connection can build you 15 years of opportunities, where it can build monetary gain. It can build different gains in your life where you don't have to be phony, but somebody real is going to notice your sincerity as a person. So I love just being able to give them my experiences that I've had in life, because at the end of the day, I cannot complain about the future if I'm not helping build. If I'm not helping, a lot of people complain about, oh, the youngest this way, the youngest are that way. Well, what are you doing to not guide them this way? So at the end of the day, they just want to be heard. They just want somebody to vibe with them. They just want somebody to give them some game.
Yes.
And that's what I love to do. So I had an opportunity for MLK Day as part of my service. I love it at Queens College with the Right Moves for Youth organization, just to speak to the youth about dreams. And the thing I just left them with is you think it, you say it, and you do it. I had them repeat that: think it, say it, you do it. Because when it comes to your dreams, the only way dreams meet reality is action.
Yeah.
We have to think about it, and we have to say it, and then we have to do it.
Yes.
And boom, you're there. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King, he thought about peace.
Yes.
If he wants peace for himself, then he has to have peace around him in his community. So he just didn't think about it, but he said it with his I Have a Dream speech. And then he acted upon it with marches and with protests. So that was, that was the post that you saw.
Oh, that was beautiful. Like I said, whenever I see that, I'm like, I'm all in, because the youth are very important. And there are, it takes a gift to be able to come back into an environment such as that, because each year, I don't know if parents realize that, because I think parents, once you get so desensitized of dropping your child off at school, you kind of might sometimes become not aware of all of the challenges that a child is facing. So to be able to go into that environment that is, pretty almost like a war zone, and I say in their minds, with the hormones racing, the hormones racing, just, not the proper guidance and love and nutrition that they need. And that's no jab at the parents, but I'm always challenging us all to do better. And so anyway, it's really a beautiful thing to be able to go into that environment. I only think that there are special people who can go back and go in and speak and show love and provide nutrients and nuggets and affection and attention and all of those things, because without that, then it's just like, they're really lost, because sometimes even, you get a trailblazer and a teacher every now and again. You get a principal every now and again that's definitely, Joe Clark in it all throughout there, making sure everything is lean on me like, and really trying to, dedicate their passions and their love to the youth. But like I said, it takes a special somebody to get up in there and say, hey, look, sit down. Let me tell you something. I used to do that. I'm trying to warn you. And they know, look, they know who cares and who doesn't. Period. Point blank. They know the phony, and children can eat you alive and spit you out and have you needing to go to see a psychiatrist. Only the chosen can go in there with the Ajante dagger from the Golden Child and and rescue the children.
I caught that. I hope the listeners caught that, but I caught that. Like, she did that.
I love it because, and I look, and that's the thing about me when I speak. You know that you're vibing with me or I'm vibing with somebody, because if you can throw something out there and somebody picks it up, that's a live brain. I love brains that are alert and moving and on it. You can't. You sure can. And there are a lot lurking. That is so funny. I wanted to ask you about going back to doing a show, because I've had several bloopers on this show. And one of my most recent bloopers happened the other day. And okay, I kept saying, welcome to the tour. Welcome to the tour. And it was the laugh line. And I was just like, what is going on here?
You called yourself out, too.
I had to. You got to keep it 100.
I don't think I didn't hit you. But see, you don't know I be listening. But you called yourself out. And, yeah. I had to be honest and be like, look, I know I flubbed on that one. And I was like, this is not the tour. But when you got 6 segments, sometimes, and you're going, and I'm going hard in the paint every day. Every day I'm doing a show. So it's just like, sometimes you get lost in the sauce and you have a blooper. Have you experienced any fun? And I've had other funnies as well, but have you had any bloopers on your show? Yeah, I think the one blooper that we had, so the blooper that we had that didn't get out, but we were trying to do the show live on Instagram, and it went live. The blooper came live on Instagram because the only time you can test Instagram is when you're live. So we were trying to set it up where we could shoot the show live, and where Rome had it on his live and I had it on my live, and boom, boom, all this live going on, just so live. But the problem was, for some reason, my camera wanted to just be black. It was working. It was cool, whatever. He had the people coming through like, hey, hey. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting there in the dark. I said, let's try this another way. That was one blooper. It's a little different. I can say for myself than you. I have a little bit more room to wiggle.
Yes.
Because ours isn't live. So now I will say everything is recorded. I don't really edit anything out. Mm-hmm. I've never edited anything out, but everything is. And I'm the type of person, just like you, very honest. When we do screw up or something, it's just gonna be. I crack jokes about it. I'm gonna crack jokes on myself on stage and crack jokes on myself. I feel like people respect you when you do that.
Right. You have to. You have to be so real that one thing about. I think anytime you get on the microphone is the people got to know that they know that you're not perfect.
Definitely, because we're all human.
Right.
Stop trying to act like you wouldn't have messed up either. Stop trying to act like you know how the word is pronounced.
Right.
Okay, I said it wrong incorrectly. Excuse me.
Right. You don't know how many times I have to edit when I post. I look and I'll be like, Ayana, you know how to spell. What is going on here?
Yeah, okay, so boom. I cut you off because that is the blooper that you caught me on. I forgot what I misspelled. I misspelled something easy. And you're like, Benny, you misspelled this. You might want to go check this out. That's the voice I had. Let me know how you get the voice I had. That's the voice I had. Excuse me. You have somebody tap you on your shoulder. Excuse me. You misspelled that.
Look, care about your brand like you would respect mine. And, like you said, like you made some suggestions.
Definitely. I appreciate that. I was like, okay,
I mean, because that's all it is. And you know what? We're in a rush. We're typing and, you're managing and you're on the go. Things happen. And I just think that if, it's good to just look out for somebody and say, hey, I didn't know if you meant to do this, if this is like this might be something new,
That word was supposed to be spelled correctly. However, what happened with the keyboard and my finger, it didn't kind of coincide together.
It happens. It happens.
Shout out to you for being alert.
I appreciate that. And it's so funny. Speaking of that, when I go on Instagram, I think it is absolutely hilarious that when I am typing my hashtags, that there is a sea of lost hashtags that will never make it to what they're really supposed to be because people are not spelling it right. And so people are posting and not spelling their hashtags right, so it's ending up in the default tags.
It could be one word.
Yes.
One word. Not one word, one letter. Just off a little.
Yes.
One letter. Just you had a fire post. You had just something amazing. Now, only you and your 15 followers.
Yeah. Cutting below.
That is kind of low. Okay. Maybe not 15, probably 35.
35. Give double it for him, please. That is hilarious. So, like when
somewhere.
Yeah, you do. You really do. So what do you think is changing on the poetry scene in Charlotte that is different from the last time you came on the show?
Oh, wow. Ooh, when you come to Charlotte,
I'm coming.
I'm going to be your tour. I'm for real now.
I appreciate it.
Now, I know you said we're going to have to get right when we're both in the city.
Yes.
When I'm here and you come out here. Because it is something going on in Charlotte every night of the week. Now, I think the only night, as far as poetry, that it's not going on is... Oh, wow. It's something going on every night. Every night. Well, not every week per se, because Friday, it just depends, but really every night there's something going on. I'm excited about the energy. I'm going to be honest. This is what's happening. People get inspired. So what happens is you had some of the younger guys starting different things, and the older guys were like, oh, wait a minute. We want that energy back. We want to feel that energy back like we once had in the city. And I love it, though. I love the fact they got inspired and they got motivated. I don't know if they will admit that, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I noticed it. I'm like, and now they're active, they're proactive and out and really pushing it, because Charlotte is now one of the biggest poetry scenes, spoken word scenes, next to Atlanta, next to on the South and East Coast end, DC and Atlanta, DC, Charlotte, and Atlanta, the three connections. If you're a poet and out here trying to travel and hit the road, you cannot miss those three cities. DC, Charlotte, Atlanta. You have to hit those three cities on the southern East Coast.
That's what's up. I love it because, like I said, out here, we have our scenes, and I have not yet tapped into, attending these open mic nights and all that other stuff.
You got bars now.
Okay.
We don't need to have to see you at the open mic.
Yeah, and I was saying that I was like, I definitely want to get out there with my bars. I was just, like I said, I just didn't want to, set everything on fire just yet. I didn't want to cause the inferno.
You don't want to burn down the building.
Yeah, I don't want to burn down the building. And, like I said, it's one of those things where I want to be a master of what I do. I want to be able to, I don't want to put too much out there, too much, too fast, too soon. I really want to be able to, launch my brand in an octopus style, because, I want to have several streams of Sister Good Thing. And I just want to be able to know that if I'm going to do this, that I'm putting all that I can into it. So I'm just not coming up there, of course, because I write and, I know that I have a gift of writing and speaking, but it has to be the right time. There has to be a cause for me to do it, because I just don't want to be walking into something prematurely. No false starts, no 5-yard penalties. You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all.
I can't have it. So I want to do it, you know, and I was just thinking about open mic night for comedy because I know I'm funny.
Okay. I'm okay.
Have you listened to my shows?
Give me a joke. You're not about to just sit here.
No, you haven't. No, you got to listen to the laugh line. I do what's called She Is Funny, a 10-minute sit down with Ayana. And if you listen to the laugh line, then you will be able to have an opportunity.
I haven't listened.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Okay, I got you. That's
You've got to listen to that show. That is a show where I can honestly say I let loose. You know, a lot of people have said before, you know, you should do stand-up comedy, this, that, and the third, and all that. But it's just like, you know, once again.
But wait, hold on. You had someone on your laugh line?
Yeah, I had somebody on the laugh line. I had Alan Massenberg.
Okay, you know what? Because you have several different segments. So I think I get them mixed up. I think I have. I had to.
I had Alan Massenberg, and then I just had on Sunday, I just had Ian J on, and they're out of Boston, Massachusetts, out of Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So I've been taking the, you know, the video comedians, and you know, I've been able to get 2 to come on, and so besides myself, but but you know, so that's what I've been, you know, just thinking about doing, just, you know, getting more out there with that. But, you know, I'm looking forward. There's something that I'm waiting for that's being custom made in order for me to really get out there on the scene.
Oh no! Oh, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it shortly. I already knew I was gonna call it out.
Oh, no, I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying, you know, I'm just waiting for some special gear that's going to set me apart out here on the game. And when that arrives, I'm going to really be, you know, on point with it.
You're going to love it.
I can't wait.
Inside between us because
yes.
Then once you receive it, then
yes.
the listeners can see it. And say,
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But what I do want to talk about without, you know, you can go as far as you want to in this. You are an entrepreneur. But first, before we get into you being an entrepreneur, I do want to say once again, brothers and sisters, you have to check out his podcast along with Rome DiCarlo because and Maya, right? Mariah, the newest host to the show. Please check it out. The reason why I don't recommend something that I feel is garbage, that's just it. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. If it sucks, you know, just leave sucking. Look, I'm just serious about that. So it doesn't suck. It is absolutely worth listening to. And you can also catch Freestyles by Rome. And, you know, I don't know if Poeticlee is going to freestyle. And have you ever freestyled on your show?
I have, but see, the thing about me is I probably have, so we're at 14 episodes.
Wow.
Out of 14, I probably got 2 good ones. So I got 2 good ones. Rome is always ready. I'm a writer.
Right.
I like to sit down and I like to think of what I'm about to put down and put together. Because I love just metaphors and double entendre. So, yeah, but Rome he keeps it in the chamber.
Yeah. And he's so laid back with it, so it's just like...
so laid back. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, he's laid back with it, you know, and that's just what it is. That's what I like about the diversity of the show. You know, the energies balance each other, you know, everything balances, and so that's what's up. What I wanted to ask you about is I was listening to your show, and, this sister, she's really beautiful. Beyond Measure, what's her name? You just had...
Beyond Your Definition.
Beyond Your Definition.
Yes.
She was on, and she said, that don't ask if this poem is about you.
1000%.
That show was on point. I really, really enjoyed that show. You guys were on point with that one. So what I wanted to ask, with you and your poetry, how often do you have to deal with, you know, I'm just saying though, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, I just want to know, was that one about me? You know?
Oh, wow. Well, I've had one where I got approached by like, okay, it's just, you know, I honestly, be honest with you, people know me.
Okay.
So if you approach me with that, you know I'm gonna look at you like you corny.
Ooh.
So people know not to ask me. And let me preface it like this, because I say that jokingly, but I say, you know, if I'm going to write something about you, I'm sending it directly to you. It's not even going public.
Okay.
If
Wow.
if I don't make it public, then it wasn't about you. I always say, if you feel guilty about anything I say publicly, that means you got to look at yourself in the mirror. Because I'm always going to face you first. If I haven't faced you first about a situation, then it's not about you. But if I have faced you first and then I'll talk about it, but I don't, use you specifically, then, it's a different conversation. I've had you, as an artist, you're going to get those conversations. But at the end of the day, it's like, people really know you.
Right.
They know who to approach, so they don't look kind of fishy.
Right.
You can look really like oh wow, now I look dumb. And
yeah.
People know my facial expression.
Ooh.
And they answer something like that, that's gonna like okay.
Yeah, because see, I think some women do get it caught in the who me? Like he was singing, he was speaking directly to me, and a lot of people can get locked in it because I think the words are enticing. I'll scroll down Instagram and then, I'll catch an erotic poem and I'll be like, okay, all right. Okay, this is interesting, all right, moods. Look, we call it.
Nah, if people just know, plus the fact, if I'm tight with you,
yeah,
like I said, I'm talking to you. I'm not going to talk through Instagram to you. That's corny.
Wow.
I need to get. You know what? That's what I'm working on 2018, to use a different word than corny. But it's just a lot of.
It is. You gotta call it what it is. You have to call it. If it's corn, it's corn. If it sucks, it sucks. I mean, that's just what it is.
I want to use a more prestige word. Help me find a more prestige word to use.
Look, whack.
I used that a lot in 2016.
I don't know. Just call it what it is. If it smells like corn and you see a kernel, it's corny. And that's just what it is, And so, are there poetry groupies? Are there poetry people where you have to? Okay, so talk about that because I see. The most common popular conversations when it comes to groupies, you deal with the music industry or when it comes to sports or anything like that. So how do you know you have a poetry groupie, or what does that look like and smell like?
All right. See, this is where I get in trouble, but it's funny. It's funny. We're kicking it. This is Ayana Lee talking.
Okay. Okay.
But the poetry groupie she's gonna be a very solistic sister. She's gonna have her Erykah Badu on, her Jill Scott. She wants to come off very, soulful. We joke about that, but it's just like for women, that poetry groupie guys that just wanna, hey, Queen, I was really feeling those words, Queen. You gotta watch out for all the queens.
Yeah.
Queen, you gotta watch out for that. But the poetry groupies are just like any other groupies, to be honest.
Really?
The groupies are groupies. They're not gonna change up the game. The game is always gonna stay the same.
Really?
Like the way people dribble in the Globetrotters are gonna be the same way they dribble on the street.
So
the ball's still gonna bounce.
So you're telling me that they're even at the poetry draft picks?
Okay, that's what I say. They may look a little different. They're not going to be. They're going to come off because they know what you're into, right?
Right.
And it's just anybody being smart in marketing.
Okay.
You know about your demographic. If I know that my demographic doesn't like the raunchy, chick that has her whole body out or something, I'm gonna have a little bit different appeal. I'm gonna be a little bit different, look more Mother Nature. Something wrong with that. But you got, just like anything else, you got to be alert. You have to be aware. You have to don't let the eager beaver chew your dam apart. And that's what I always say.
Yes.
Because you go, and as somebody like myself, I'm performing. I'm out. I may be out like 4 times a week at night, hitting up different spots just to perform. Spit. And when you're out in the public eye like that, you're going to be seen. And if you're dope and if you're nice, and you're whack, you may not get none. But if you're nice, you actually spitting that talk, talking that talk. people gonna like that.
Oh, for sure.
I love it, because if I see a woman and she's spitting bars and she's nice with it, I'm gonna be attracted. So
yeah,
you know, even as I can speak for as a man, you're gonna grab some eyes, and you know, especially if you're attractive, you're gonna grab some eyes, and you have to know what you came there for, and you have to remember that it's just like things are in the moment. Like, that's a vibe. You have to know the difference between a vibe and a connection. It's a difference. Everybody say they like a vibe. A vibe is nice, but how long does a vibe last more than a connection? I like vibe is like Wi-Fi. A connection is landline.
Wait a minute. Hold up. I got a snap. I just got a snap real quick. Okay, okay. See, and that's what happens, and then all the women be like, oh, okay.
I gotta show you that I can use some wordplay. But that's what it's like, and we all, and nothing wrong with Wi-Fi.
Right.
I'm on Wi-Fi right now.
Right.
When I leave my home, if you gotta understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I do.
When I leave that venue, I'm no longer connected.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand the difference between that, and the difference is always it varies. I can't give the game plan on what the difference is, but there always, in any aspect of what you do in life, there's going to be groupies. President Obama probably had groupies.
Oh, goodness.
So,
yes.
At any level, you're going to have groupies. And it doesn't matter who the person is. You're going to have people that just attracted to what you do, and they're turned on now. So.
Yep. No, totally. And so when you talk about groupies, when I talk about groupies, it kind of made me think when you mentioned President Obama or the former President Obama, and then I just made me think, like, when it comes to how can I say it? Let me think. I'm just trying to find the proper way to say this.
Okay.
When it comes,
find the proper way. Find the
I'm just trying to think. How do you think with being in, the sports with everything, because I'm switching the total subject now.
Okay.
When it comes to us seeing people who are in the public eye who are attractive and or may be a good look, whether they're male or female, but they're married, do you think it is okay? Because I don't. Do you think it is okay to have a crush on somebody who's in the public eye that's married? For instance, there are several sisters that say T.I., before he was divorced, T.I. could get the business. Or people would be like, such and such can get the business. And LL Cool J, prime example. Man been married for a long time, but there are women who just be like, ooh, he can, So what do you think about that? Is that crossing the line? Is there a line? And what's your thoughts on that?
What do you mean? Is the person that's saying that he can get the business married? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, if I were single, or if there's if there's somebody single and they are watching TV and they see a married celebrity and they are attracted to them and begin to be like, look, if I ever had the opportunity to be with him, like some people bypass the fact that.
Come on, half the time people just be talking. You can't pay. People just, if you see somebody on TV and you're like, oh, they can get the business, and they married. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I see Beyonce, I'm like, oof, Beyonce. But Jay is our man. I don't really mean that. I'm just talking, talking because it's our lust in that moment and what we like. But I think if you take that handful of people, I think a lot of that is going to sprinkle out to be people that honestly would have some respect. This is my theory. I think people just end up talking. Of course, you're gonna have people that want to try.
Yeah.
And they're going to try. But I think there's a lot of people just talking. Even if you're married or whatnot, and you admire somebody, it's cool to have a crush. When you become in a relationship, to say that you have to close your eyes and shun your eyes from looking at someone else's is wild. I mean, that's you're throwing off and this is just me talking. It's Lee and my theories, but you're just throwing off the body and you can't. I think it's a respect thing. No, I'm not going to talk reckless to say, I'm not going to be around my partner. So I'm going to do this and do that. No, but I'm saying that person looks attractive. I think if you're both secure, then you can both admit, yeah, they are attractive. As a man, it's not wrong with a man to say, he look good.
He used to.
Okay, right. You used to. Exactly.
Let me stop. I know it.
Hey, cool not, Jay.
Yeah, you know, it's just so funny because I just think that, we're living in such a day where people want to be loved. And you and I have had a conversation about, relationships and everything, but, we can go a little bit deeper in it now. What do you see some of the mistakes being made in social media when it comes to relationships? Or what do what's your view on that? Because I just see that, for me, I believe that, privacy is very important when it comes to your relationship, and things that need to just be kept between you and that person. You don't need to be posting, picking. This is just me. There's no shade to anybody that does that. If that's what somebody chooses to do, that's what they choose to do. But just for how I would roll, keeping things private to me is just very important. And I think when people go public, then you just run the risk of several voices really almost providing incantations of negative energy, and next thing you know, your situation almost seems to be unrepairable. So what do you think about social media and relationships and, just the whole privacy factor that kind of maybe should be involved?
Well, so it's a several-fold question. If I take a quick moment to explain the folds.
Of course.
Because as an artist, I'm going to talk about the things I'm involved in different situations. That's the type of artist I am. A lot of artists are like Rome, for example. Rome is more, he talks from the third, he'll talk about other events happening. He won't pretend to talk about his specific, this is something we talked about on the show. Mm-hmm. And I'm just talking about how, and for me, I'm going to talk more about situations that I'm in. And it's got me in a position where I've got that text or that call, you talking about this and that. So,
wow.
That's that one fold. But the other fold, I think, too, when it comes to the social media, what's your intentions?
Yeah.
I think people are more focused on making sure they either can make somebody jealous or they can have this image to live up to. If you look on social media now, it's crazy. It's like day goals are the thing now. It's like, and I love that people are in relationships and everything's thriving from that. But are you in it for the pick? Or are you in it for the actual, being around, just the connection?
Right.
Like for example, I'm out. And this is not even. I guess it's a date. I'm out, and I see the camera come out. Now this is my first time even being around this person.
Oh.
I see the camera come out. I'm just playing. You're just playing. What?
Oh.
You know what I mean? You're trying to take a photo. What are you trying to do? If you're really enjoying something, soak it in. What's your intention? What's your intent behind it? And I think that's where a lot of people get. If they ask themselves deeper inside, they look in the mirror and say, "Why am I posting this?"
Right.
Truly, if you're posting it if you're posting to be happy, why posting that makes you happy? I'm not dissing, like you said, not shading, but ask yourself why whatever you do is what's the true intent behind it? And it's not gonna lie, some people do things to make people jealous. I get that, I understand that, and a lot of times people do things just to put on the front. We know about the front.
Oh boy. Oh yes.
So yeah, and front can lay you on your backside. So
yeah. Ooh yes. And that's so funny you said that because I was trying not to laugh, but you almost entered into it. You almost got put in a thirst trap when that camera came out. You avoided a thirst trap, and that and it's no diss towards the sister. She's just it's just some women women have been dreaming about certain moments ever since they were little, and a lot of women want to be in a relationship and they want everything right then, right now. And one thing I know is that you cannot rush a man. And if a man wants you, he's going to show you and you'll know. There'll be several cues. But one thing that I have learned that I used to do when I was younger was you cannot force a relationship, and feelings grow organically. And if it is going to happen, it will happen. You just have to know how to play your role in a way to where this man is going to want to be around you again. Because, sometimes one date can be a deal breaker. For me, a deal breaker is you. One thing for me that's a deal breaker is you opening your mouth and just talking. Gotta go. I gotta go. I cannot. The receptors are not connected. This is not working for me because I thrive on wisdom. I thrive on intelligence, and I thrive on levels of conversation. That's it for me. And if you cannot keep a conversation that I know I can go all over with it, and I just can't do it. And sisters, they want people. They want people.
What they know, Ayan?
They want to know. They want Instagram to know that they're with you. Let me make it specially about you at this point. That's what that was. I'm with Poeticlee. I'm with Lee.
Yeah, that was.
That's what that was. Did you have? Wait. Did you have the gold chain on?
Oh man, chill. You know what's crazy too? Because in that same moment we're out and we're walking somewhere. Someone walk by, I say, "Hey, Poetically," and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what's up? But I kind of don't like that because when you in certain areas you get that, like even if you're known in your city or whatever. Not to say like I'm known like that, but no people know me because you're out performing.
Right.
And so it's kind of like I don't really. Then now people are looking, who is this? Especially like you with a young lady, or you got to know, and that's why I have conversations like this beforehand.
Disclaimer:
know how that person's gonna react if other people get hyped.
Oh wow! Oh really? Oh okay. So there's
you gotta have that conversation if that person is cool with sharing you with the crowd.
Wow!
I ain't posted on Instagram. You got to be able to share me with the crowd.
And I see that a lot. And that to me you know what? Look, if you have to put a disclaimer out, you have to put a disclaimer out. You have to let people know what they're getting into. And even when you put the disclaimer out, it doesn't matter. Sometimes, you can say, I'm not looking for a girlfriend. And a woman can be like, we're about to get married. I'm just being real. Like, sometimes women don't hear. We hear you, but we've got ulterior motives and plans. I know sisters are like, are you giving up the game? I mean, come on. It's the truth, right? Like, there are ulterior motives. Like, you hear the brother say, I'm not ready for a relationship. And
what is that? Is it in that mindset that, hey, we can change this?
Yes.
Why? Because no, we don't want to be changed.
I know. No. I know that. And, like I said, I think women... I don't know. It just, sometimes you have to learn how much power you don't have. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom with superficial power in order to know that the only one who can change a man is God. And that the only thing that you can do is just be a vessel of positive reinforcement that will kind of like soften and fertilize the soil if you're encountering hard ground. But, a man's process of growing is a man's process of growing. Why do we want chicken? Well, I don't want to say chicken because we know you're plant-based. Why do we want something that's not cooked all the way? That's not well done.
Oh no, I still rock what you're saying there.
You know what I'm saying? You want something that's well done, and I think a lot of times, sometimes people want to take, and this is no shot at men. Just hear what I'm saying. Just for a visual picture. Sometimes you want, you cannot take a premature baby out of the incubator until it's time for the baby to be removed. They have to stay in that situation. And sometimes you can enter into a situation prematurely and it's just not ready to come out of that incubator. It's not ready to be taken home. It's not ready to enter into a normal pattern of life because you don't know what you're entering into until you get to know someone. And I think like women just have this issue where they just have to just run into a wall and get it that they don't sit high and look low. You don't have that power. Your vagina cannot change the world. And I know people say vagina is power, but it's not. It really isn't. It is a source of pain and joy. Period.
And so I think it's that joy that we get the high off of.
Yeah.
And change.
Yes.
And make an impact on the world.
Yes, but if you think that your vagina runs the world, you're delusional. And that's just real. You're delusional. You are. And I just, and I know a lot of people say, but you're a woman, but I'm also keeping it 100. And I just see things differently. I'm not all about girl power. I'm not all about man power. I'm all about human power. And I'm about a level playing field. And if I sit there and say that your vagina runs the world, then I'm really dissing my men, the brothers, the kings, because the kings are the head. You guys are the leaders. And a lot of women have to be willing to get behind a man, and that's where the issue starts right there. A lot of women don't want to fall in their proper place, their proper role. They want to redefine their role because it's 2000 and that's where you end up running out of every type of air you could possibly have, and you end up really hitting rock bottom. Until women understand that there is a role that we play, and there's nothing wrong with the role that we have and how we're supposed to operate in it. It's a beautiful role. But when you try to get out ahead of a man and trying to do what a man does and trying to lead when you're supposed to follow, then I just, you're lost. And I know a lot of brothers are like, yeah. And I know a lot of sisters are like, but if you want to know why there's an imbalance, why there's no equilibrium, it's because you don't want to follow. You don't want the man to lead. Oh, shooky. Yeah, but it's the truth though. And a lot of men, fall back and end up not being on the front line and not leading their homes and not leading situations that men are supposed to do it. Period, point blank. And there is a harmony that comes when you step into your right role and you do things properly. Now, like I said, I know